The Minnesota Vikings 2022 preseason is mercifully dead and gone. So it is time for the final 53-man rooster projection as well as practice squad projection. There you go. Now, we have some controversial takes. You will see them on this list. And also, I think it's very possible that one or two members of this team, maybe not the 53, but certainly the practice squad, could be on another roster currently. As teams pare down the 53, Vikings could swoop in. And also, even though there's a waiver process, and if you pick up a player off of waivers, you have to put them on your 53. Players, once they clear waivers, they're a free agent, so they can go and sign with a different practice squad if a team offers them more money or if a team presents them a better opportunity than their current team. So there you go. First up, that's how we got Kyle Sluter back in the day, 2017. So at quarterbacks, keeping two on the 53, and the controversial thing. Oh, we should go over colors. So gray is the roster, making the 53. Blue is you're making the practice squad, 16 spots. Red is cut, as well as yellow means either PUP list or IR. We'll get into those various cases. So Cousins, Mullins on the 53, and then controversial, but I think the Vikings keep Kellen Mond and Sean Mannion on the practice squad. I understand. I hear you hear boos, but your boos mean nothing because I've seen what makes you cheer. But Kellen Mond, I think that the Vikings see that he still has some potential, but not 53-man roster potential. So they're going to put him through waivers. And if another team claims him, it is what it is. But putting him on the practice squad, no muss, no fuss. And I think they are going to hang on to Sean Mannion on the practice squad, even though if he's just a street free agent, he would be available at a second's notice. But I think that they are worried about Mullins getting acclimated to the offense. It will take him a couple of weeks getting used to the personnel in practice as well. So keeping Mannion in the sphere and possibly having him elevated on game day as the quarterback too for a couple of weeks. I understand that thought process. I think it actually may happen. Running backs wise, clear cut. Dalvin, Madison, King Kene, Ty Chandler. Probably the deepest running back room in the National Football League. Got the four Norsemen of the apocalypse. Brian Kobeck, I think, has done enough to be on the practice squad. Remember, practice squads are deep, man. 16 players. CJ Ham, the only fullback on the rooster. Wide receivers, you got Jefferson, Thielen, KJ, ISM. Now, it's really unfortunate about BC. I think even if they get the best case scenario news, I think that he will go on the injured reserve. So after 53-man rosters are set, then players can go on injured reserve. Whereas if they go beforehand, it's season long. But if they go on after 53-man rosters are set and they initially make the 53, then you put them on IR, then they're eligible to return after 4 weeks during the season. So BC, Danchasena, I think start the season on IR. I think wide receiver 5-6 is going to be Trishan Jackson and Jalen Naylor. Wide receiver 5 would have been BC if he would have stayed healthy. And then you got Myron Mitchell on the practice squad. Blake Prohl is on the PUP list to start the season. He'll miss at least the first 6 weeks. Tight ends, Irv Smith, hopefully that thumb is good to go week 1. Johnny Munt is clearly tight end 2. And given his performance against the Broncos, I think Zach Davidson, tight end 3, over Nick Muse, over Ben Ellefson. I do think that they keep both of them in the sphere because, again, 16 players is a lot on the practice squad, man. Ellefson for his blocking prowess, Nick Muse for his potential. But Nick Muse, he had that third tight end spot sutured up, except he just fell on his face against the Broncos. But Davidson, he does have a lot of things to work on. But his catch rate is his ability after the catch. It's freakish. It really is. Offensive line, keep it 9, which is the standard. Left to right, you got Darisaw, Ezra, Bradbury. Ed Ingram is going to start no matter what Kevin O'Connell says. And then Brian O'Neill at right tackle. Blake Brandel is your swing backup tackle. And then you got the 3 veteran interior linemen, Schlutman, Chris Reed, Jesse Davis can also play some tackle. So you feel really good about your veteran backups in that regard. Oli Udoh, cut. Wyatt Davis, unfortunately cut. Timon Paris also sent packing. And then the Vikings keep 3 on the practice squad. Vidarian Lowe. I think that he does have potential. A couple years down the line, he does have some nice physical tools. I think that he could develop into a backup tackle in the next couple years. Josh Sokol, I'm going out on a limb here because Sokol hasn't really gotten the time of day. He's mainly just in with the 3s, but I think that he has shown maybe enough to warrant a practice squad spot. Again, 16 is a lot. And then Kyle Big Hit and Hinton has quietly been decent during preseason. I think that he's done well at training camp as well. Plus, given that he can play both guard spots, as well as they've experimented with him at center. I think that is enough to keep him in the sphere. Defensively, so you keep it 6 interior defensive linemen: Diesel, Dalvin, Harrison Phillips, Armand for Watts, Jonathan Bullard, who didn't dress or play against the Broncos, securing up his spot. T.Y. McGill, hopefully that injury isn't too serious, because I think that he is going to be the Vikings' backup nose tackle to start the season. Osaze Odomeu coming in from the Gophers. I think that he's shown enough where it'd be kind of risky getting him on the practice squad, so he makes the roster. And then you got Jalen Twyman, James Lynch on the practice squad, which is really unfortunate because They didn't show enough to warrant a 53 spot. They didn't show enough to supplant Bullard or Sazy, so it is what it is, and TJ Smith is cut. Edge rushers, so our thoughts have changed on this. So Daniil, Za'Darius, Wanham, and Janarius sat for the final preseason game. Now, Janarius, it either was a sign that he was going to make the 53, or they want to keep him healthy to cut him so they didn't have to pay him and put him on IR, or he's dealing with a minor injury. We don't know because they don't have to put out injury reports in preseason. But we're going to say that he makes it. And then the two UDFAs, Zach McLeod and Luigi Villain. Villain has had himself a nice couple of games, make the practice squad. Linebackers keeping 4. You got Kendricks, Hicks, Asamoah, and Dye. Chaz Surratt and Blake Lynch. So they sat both of them against the Broncos. Now, reading between the tea leaves, I think that's more keeping them healthy so you can cut them so they don't injure themselves, so you don't have to put them on IR and so you don't have to pay them. I also don't think that Chaz has shown enough to warrant a 53 or a practice squad spot. Blake Lynch, I will always love. Maybe he makes it to the practice squad. We'd like to see it. Ryan Connolly's on the PUP list. And then you got William Kwenku, the UDFA tryout out of Temple, I think makes the practice squad. Cornerbacks-wise, keeping 6 on the rooster. Peterson, Dantzler, Shondon, Andrew Booth Jr., Caleb Evans, the 2 rookies. And then Chris Boyd making it as the 6, keeping 2 on the practice squad. The veteran Hairston, as well as the veteran Perry Nickerson, who can do some good things in the slot. And then you got Ty Smith being shown the door for the second time. Safety-wise, oh, that should be red. So safety-wise, keeping 4, Harrison Beasy, Lewisine, and Josh Metellus. Again, pending on Metellus' health. Hopefully he's good to go. Miles Dorn has done more than enough to be on the practice squad. And if Metellus is dinged up, he could be the 53 to injured reserve, short-term injured reserve, the Miles Dorn rosters. Could see that happening. And then you got the 3 specialists, Joseph, Ryan Wright, who... Yeah, Kevin O'Connell hasn't said, I don't know if Ryan Wright's earned the job yet. Yeah. And then Andrew DePaula. So the practice squad, year 16, we got 2 quarterbacks. We got Mond and Sean Mannion. You got the running back, Brian Koback. You got the receiver, Myron Mitchell. 2 tight ends, Nick Muse and Ben Ellefson. 3 offensive linemen, Vidarian Lowe, Kyle Hinton, Josh Sokol. Defensively, you got 2 D linemen, Twyman and Lynch. Luigi Villain and Zach McLeod as edge rushers. William Kwenku as a linebacker. 1 cornerback Perry Nickerson, as well as 1 safety in Miles Dorn. So that's it. That's our final look at the 53-man rooster, as well as practice squad projection. All the preseason is in the books. The Vikings have to be down to 53 by 3 p.m. on Tuesday, but expect news to leak about cuts beforehand, because why not at this point? Anyways, let us know your thoughts and our thoughts. Controversial 53-man roster, projection, and practice squad. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.